Welcome everybody to Public Speaking and Professional Presentations at Middlesex Community College. Hello, I am your instructor, Christine DeRosa, and I am delighted that you all signed up to take this course over the summer as a super accelerated class. So welcome to Public Speaking. I ask that you, and I'm always curious to know, why it is you have signed up for this class. Is it because it's a course requirement? Is it something you're dreading because it's a course requirement, which could be the case? I hear that a lot in my classes. Or are you taking it because you really want to challenge yourself, maybe overcome some nervous energy? Or maybe a whole other reason altogether, because you have a career or maybe took a new job that has a public speaking element to it and you really want to hone your public speaking skill set. Maybe you're just taking it for fun and it doesn't have anything to do with a degree or a career. It's just because you thought it would be fun. Whatever the reason is, I'm really happy you signed up because what we learn here in this class can actually help impact other areas of your life, whether it's academic, career, or maybe a family function. You have no idea where public speaking skill set may come in handy, and the best part is that it's usable everywhere. So I'm really happy you signed up, and I'm looking forward to a great semester together. I just wanted to leave this welcome video because I really wanted to tell you a few things bit about the class and then a little bit about myself, so you'll have a little bit of insight into how it is I got to teach this course at Middlesex Community College. So some noteworthy items first. I highly recommend students log into Blackboard, which apparently you've already done because you're watching me on this video right now. So kudos on getting that done. Review the class in Blackboard. You'll see that the syllabus is posted there already. Review the syllabus. You will notice that we have weekly course modules. I have set up the course so it is in weekly modules and each week has two parts. So a part one and a part two. And that again will help keep us a little bit less overwhelmed in terms of everything that we have to accomplish in such a short period of time. The other thing I would mention is the technical requirements of the class, and you will see this plastered all over the syllabus as well as in Blackboard. But there is a technical element to this class that I really want students to become familiar with as soon as possible. Because one of the things about this class is just because it's online doesn't mean you won't be presenting speeches. You will I actually had a student say that to me. I didn't realize I'd be presenting speeches in this online public speaking class. And I said, yes, you will be presenting speeches, but you will actually be using technology to do it since we're not face to face in the classroom and we can't do it live. So one of the technical elements is that you all have a YouTube account. You do have a YouTube account if you already have a Gmail email address. So know that. And I have posted instructions and helpful guides in our course in Blackboard, so definitely check that out to help students get to the point where they feel comfortable filming their own footage like I'm doing now. To film this to you, I'm filming this on my laptop. Then I'm going to take this raw video footage and upload it to my YouTube channel that I have on my computer and the internet. And then I'm going to ask YouTube to create a YouTube link. And that is what you are looking at right now. You are looking at a YouTube link I created of a welcome announcement for this class. So each of you will be submitting your own YouTube links as your speech assignments as they come up and we go through the class together. So again, I really feel like you need to get comfortable with the technical requirements, but don't freak out if it's something that seems a little overwhelming for you. It can be. It's simple, but it can seem overwhelming, especially if you're new to all of this stuff. So definitely reach out to me. That is one of my key things. I teach communications, so I want to hear from you. I'm happy to hear from you. That is really a serious part of my job, is being able to hear from my students and being able to give them a response in a timely manner. So if you have any questions, you can't see something in the syllabus, or you see something in the syllabus that you're questioning, like, is this due date really right? Because you have it here in the syllabus, but in the weekly module it says this, definitely reach out to me. I want to know if you're confused. That is my goal, is to help you unconfuse anything. And you may be helping me out or another student out or the whole class out by telling me that something doesn't seem right or it seems a little off. So I appreciate the extra set of eyeballs, and I always appreciate questions coming into me from students. Lastly, beyond reviewing Blackboard, reviewing the syllabus, reviewing the technical requirements for this class, oh, one other thing I will say. This is the first, you are guinea pigs. You are a special group. This is the first semester I am not using a required text for the class. We are going to use the lecture notes that I've created over the years from Hamilton Gregory's public speaking for college and career text, but I'm not requiring students to purchase the text because we are in an accelerated environment, and that would be a lot of reading. So I have posted chapter material notes in our class. I highly recommend that you read those because those really touch on the main points and elements of what we want to learn or get out of our public speaking experience in this class. And they're also going to be very useful when we take our quizzes, because there are still quizzes. Even though you're not reading the entire text, you should be able to find every answer on those quizzes in the notes. But again, a disclaimer: you are a guinea pig group for me in terms of not using an actual text and only relying on the notes. So if there's an issue with that, we'll see how it goes. I appreciate your openness and willingness to go along with me on this little journey and see how it works. I have tested the waters with other students this past spring in terms of the notes that were supplied and how well they felt they did on the quizzes, and many of them succeeded brilliantly. So I have no doubt that you all will as well. And again, I leave it with, if you have any questions, let me know. So that brings me to lastly. So again, let me cover my main points. Review the syllabus. Remember, there's no required text for this class. Review Blackboard and review the technical requirements for the course. And lastly, a little bit about myself. I was a very shy, quiet, introverted girl. When I was growing up, I had a twin brother. He spoke enough for both of us and got in trouble enough for both of us that I just decided to be quiet and take everything in and listen and listen to what was going on around me. So I actually, in 8th grade, had to give my first book report. And being a shy, quiet, introverted person, I got up, I said the name of the book, and the next thing I remembered, the nurse had smelling salts under my nose, trying to wake me up, which was unbearably successful, and I was totally mortified. But she asked me where I was, if I knew my name, what I thought had happened, and I said I can never return to class again. But to my surprise, I actually did go back to school the next day. My mother made me go, and I found that the students were very concerned about my well-being, and they also thought that it was pretty cool that I passed out in front of the class and hit my head and back on the blackboard. I didn't think it was so cool. It kind of hurt, but they were actually wondering if I could do it again. So what I found in that moment is it doesn't matter how nervous you are. Most students, number one, can't tell unless, of course, you pass out like I did. Then it's definitely a sign. And the other thing is that most of our listeners in the class or in any venue, a context that we might be presenting in, are really there because they value the information we're sharing, and they're not our enemy. They actually are there because they care, and they care to learn about what we're talking about, and they're also there to be supportive. They're not against us. So sometimes students will feel like eyeballs are upon them in this type of class, but the reality is our listeners are really an integral part of this entire process. So I really want you to start shifting your mindset from being completely nervous, if you are, to actually seeing this as a wonderful opportunity for you to share a wealth of knowledge about subjects that your listeners may have no idea about, and how much you are going to enrich their lives through sharing that. So definitely think about that. I actually challenged myself when I went to UNH. I actually challenged myself and had the opportunity to skip out on taking the public speaking requirement because they were integrating a new curriculum for the communications department. And they said, you have 2 options. This is the only time these options are going to come up at this school. You can take the old requirement, the old curriculum path, which requires that you take a public speaking class, or you can take the new curriculum path, which requires that you don't. You could take it as an elective if you want, but it's not forced upon you. I paused for longer than this and left the line I was in after waiting about an hour to get to the head of the line in order to register for my classes, because I really had to ponder and think about how I have a real problem with public speaking, and I have a real nervousness problem, and I'm extremely shy. And if I don't do something about this now, how many other areas of my life is this going to affect? So I stood back in line, waited about another hour, got to the front of the line, and she said, "Oh, you're back. Which curriculum path are you choosing?" And I said, "Number 1." And I chose number 1. which forced me to take public speaking in college. So I took public speaking. I survived. I did not pass out at all, nor did anybody else in my class. The benefit of taking this class is that we are also all in it together. So we are there to support each other. And the fact that we know that we are all growing at different rates and speeds in terms of our skill set. So let's honor that. Let's have a good time in this class. Let's have fun while we're learning. I think learning should be fun. That's one of my best philosophies, is that if you're not having fun doing that, then what's the point? So I definitely want us to have fun and engage in discussions and enjoy each other's presentations and get a lot out of it. So I'm looking forward to finally seeing your faces as you deliver your first speeches later this week. And again, I can't reiterate strong enough, I'm a communication lover. So feel free to email me if you have any questions. I will see you soon virtually in our classroom. Thank you so much for listening.